shelves. As customers, that means we have more choice and can be more selective. As marketers and salespeople, it means that we can no longer expect our companies to win in a certain category just by showing up with our product, even if it's a good product. Owning the supply isn't enough. Just look at the razor company Gillette, which dominated the razor industry for more than a century. Gillette's success stemmed from owning the design of their patented safety razor, owning the distribution centers for getting their razors out to retailers, and owning the relationships with those retailers. In other words, Gillette owned the supply. And for decades, if you wanted to buy a razor, you had no choice but to go to a brick-and-mortar retailer like CVS or Walgreens, where you would inevitably find Gillette razors for sale on the shelves. Then, in 2011, Dollar Shave Club appeared on the scene and turned Gillette's supply-driven model on its head. Instead of going head-to-head with Gillette and competing for shelf space, which was the approach competitors like Schick and Bic had taken, Dollar Shave Club went around the retailers and began selling their razors directly to consumers. To generate buzz for the new service, they crafted memorable marketing campaigns that stressed how expensive the razors in the stores were, how much of a pain it was to remember to buy them, and how all of the new features the supply-focused razor companies were adding to their products, like vibrating handles, were worthless. Then Dollar Shave Club presented their subscription service, which offered premium, but no frills, blades at a lower price as the solution. Instead of focusing on owning the supply, they focused on owning the demand. In 2016, after years of sustained revenue growth, Dollar Shave Club was acquired by Unilever for a reported $1 billion. Over that same time period, 2011 through 2016, Gillette's North American market share dropped from 71% to 59%. Winners and losers. Why companies need to adapt. For years, companies have been able to find success through creating amazing products and building lovable brands. But in a world of infinite supply, an amazing product and a lovable brand are no longer enough. In order to gain an advantage over the competition, you also need to provide incredible service. Those are the three moats you need to build around your business: product, brand, and service. Today's customers care not only about what they're buying, product, and who they're buying it from, brand, but also how they're able to buy, service. They care about the buying process itself, and if that process takes too long, or feels too complicated, or doesn't meet their expectations, it's likely that those potential customers will go spend their money with a competitor. Ultimately, Gillette was able to recognize that they needed to adapt to this fundamental shift in the way people prefer to buy. In 2017, they launched their own direct-to-consumer razor service, the aptly named Gillette On Demand. And while Gillette has, at least for now, been able to weather the storm brought on by Dollar Shave Club and other razor subscription services, not all supply-focused companies have been so fortunate. Amazon versus Borders. When Amazon first began selling books online in 1995, brick-and-mortar superstores dominated the industry. Borders, in particular, was generating around $1.6 billion in annual sales. At a time when there was a growing concern that superstores like Borders would disrupt smaller local bookshops, Amazon came along and pulled the rug out from under the entire industry. By 2006, Amazon had surpassed Borders in annual revenue, and by 2011, Borders, the former book retail juggernaut, was out of business. Of course, the downfall of Borders cannot be solely attributed to the rise of Amazon, but it undoubtedly played a pivotal role. Amazon reinvented the way people buy books, and with the launch of their Kindle e-reader in 2007, they also reinvented the way people read books. Before Amazon, book buyers had no choice but to go into brick-and-mortar stores, where they could find thousands of paperbacks and hardcovers lining the shelves. After Amazon, buyers could search through millions of titles online, and instead of having to fill up their own shelves at home with physical copies of books,